The African sun was warm and bright. It spread like a golden blanket over the vast grassy plains of the savanna. A gentle breeze whispered through the tall yellow grass, making it dance and sway. In the shade of a lonely acacia tree, a mother cheetah lay resting. Her name was Safi, and her beautiful spotted coat blended perfectly with the dappled sunlight that filtered through the leaves. She was a picture of grace and calm, her long tail twitching softly now and then as she watched the world around her, with half-closed eyes, ever alert, ever watchful. Not far from where Safi rested, her 3 little cubs were full of life and energy. They were like miniature copies of their mother, covered in soft, fuzzy fur with tiny black spots. They tumbled and wrestled with each other in a patch of soft dust, their paws batting playfully in the air. One cub, the bravest of the 3, tried to pounce on his brother's tail, but he missed and rolled head over heels into a clump of grass. Their happy chirps and playful growls filled the quiet afternoon air, a sweet melody of youthful joy under the watchful gaze of their loving mother. Safi listened to her cubs playing, and a soft, rumbling purr vibrated in her chest. She knew this was a precious time. Soon, they would need to learn how to hunt and survive on their own in this big, wild world. But for now, they were just babies, and her job was to keep them safe from all harm. She stretched one of her long, elegant legs and yawned, showing a flash of her sharp teeth. The world seemed peaceful, and her little family was happy. The day was perfect for a nap, but a mother in the wild never truly sleeps. The cubs' game of chase led them a little further from the acacia tree. They discovered a bright blue butterfly fluttering near a bush, and began to follow it with wide, curious eyes. They crouched low in the grass, wiggling their bottoms just like their mother did when she was hunting. Then, with a burst of clumsy speed, they would leap towards the butterfly, only for it to flutter just out of their reach. Safi watched them, her heart full. These were the moments she cherished, the peaceful hours spent teaching her children the simple joys of being a cheetah. As the cubs frolicked, a strange rustling sound came from a nearby thicket. It was a slow, shuffling noise, not like the quick footsteps of a gazelle or the heavy tread of an elephant. The cubs stopped their game and pricked up their ears. Their big round eyes turned toward the sound, full of innocent curiosity. What could be making that funny noise? One of the cubs, the most adventurous one, took a hesitant step forward, wanting to investigate the source of the mysterious sound. He had never heard anything quite like it before in his short life. Slowly, a very peculiar creature emerged from the bushes. It was not tall and graceful like a giraffe, nor was it small and quick like a meerkat. This animal was round and low to the ground, and it was covered from head to tail in long, sharp-looking spines that were black and white. It was a porcupine, and he was simply looking for some tasty roots to nibble on for his lunch. He had no idea that a family of cheetahs was resting just a few feet away. He shuffled along, his nose twitching as he sniffed the ground for a delicious treat. The cheetah cubs had never seen a porcupine before. They stared in wonder at the strange, spiky animal. It looked like a walking pincushion. One of the cubs let out a soft, questioning chirp. Was this a new friend to play with? Could they chase its spiky tail? The bravest cub started to creep forward, his belly low to the ground, his eyes fixed on the porcupine. He thought it might be fun to bat at one of those long, wobbly quills. He was too young to know that those spikes were not for playing. They were for protection, and could be very dangerous. The porcupine continued to mind his own business, digging at the base of a small plant with his strong claws. He was completely unaware of the 3 pairs of curious eyes watching his every move. He grunted softly to himself as he found a juicy root and began to chew on it contentedly. The world for him was just a place to find good food and enjoy a quiet afternoon stroll. He didn't know that his peaceful walk had brought him right into the heart of a cheetah's nursery, a place guarded by one of the most protective mothers on the savanna. The moment Safi heard the rustling and saw the strange, spiky creature, she was on her feet in an instant. Her relaxed posture vanished, replaced by a tense alertness. Her body went low to the ground, her muscles coiled like a tight spring, ready to leap into action. Her eyes, which had been soft and sleepy, were now sharp and focused, locked onto the porcupine. A low, guttural growl rumbled deep in her throat. It was a sound her cubs had never heard before, a sound that meant danger was near. Her only thought was to protect her precious babies from this unknown threat. The cubs immediately sensed the change in their mother. Her warning growl sent a shiver through them. and their playful mood disappeared. They froze in place, their ears flat against their heads, and looked from the porcupine back to their mother. They understood her message without needing any words. This was not a new friend. This was something to be feared. They quickly scurried back towards the safety of the acacia tree, huddling behind their mother's strong legs and peering out with wide, frightened eyes at the spiky animal that had caused such alarm. Safi took a slow, deliberate step forward, placing herself directly between her cubs and the porcupine. She did not want to fight, she just wanted the intruder to leave. She let out a louder, more threatening hiss, a clear warning to stay away. Her tail swished back and forth, a sign of her agitation and readiness to defend her family. She was much bigger and faster than the porcupine, but she was also smart. She knew that the porcupine's quills could cause a painful, serious injury, and an injured mother cannot hunt or care for her cubs. The porcupine finally looked up from its meal, startled by the cheetah's sharp hiss. It saw the angry mother cheetah standing before it, her teeth bared. It immediately knew it had wandered into the wrong place. In a flash, all of its long quills stood straight up on its back, making it look twice as big and much more dangerous. It was a silent but powerful defense. The porcupine stood its ground, its body a fortress of spikes, hoping the cheetah would understand the message. I mean no harm, but do not come any closer. For a long, tense moment, neither animal moved. The air was thick with unspoken threats. Safi stood her ground, her gaze unwavering, a silent guardian protecting her young. The porcupine remained frozen, its spiky armor fully deployed, a clear signal that it was ready to defend itself if necessary. The only sound was the gentle whisper of the wind through the grass. It was a standoff between a mother's fierce love and a creature's powerful defense. Safi's priority was not to attack, but to ensure her family's safety. She just needed the porcupine to understand that it was not welcome here. Wisely, the porcupine decided this was not a good place to look for lunch after all. It could see the determination in the mother cheetah's eyes, and knew it was best to move on. Slowly, it began to back away, never turning its back on the cheetah. It shuffled backward, step by careful step, its quills still raised high as a precaution. It moved away from the acacia tree, and back towards the thicket from which it had come. Safi watched its every move, her body still tense, until the porcupine had disappeared completely into the safety of the dense bushes. Once the porcupine was gone, Safi let out a long breath. The danger had passed. She turned around and nuzzled each of her cubs, licking their heads with her rough tongue to comfort them. Her deep purr returned, this time a sound of reassurance and love. The cubs, feeling safe again, rubbed against her legs and chirped softly. They had learned a valuable lesson today. The world could be a dangerous place, but their mother would always be there to protect them. They now understood a little more about the difference between a friend and a threat. Soon, the memory of the spiky visitor faded, and the cubs' playful nature returned. They began to chase each other's tails again, tumbling in the soft dust under the acacia tree. Safi lay down once more, but her eyes remained open, scanning the horizon. This encounter was a reminder of the constant challenges of life in the wild. A mother's love is a powerful force, a shield of courage and devotion that keeps her children safe. It is the strongest bond in nature, a beautiful and unbreakable promise to protect, to teach, and to care, no matter what dangers the savannah might